I'm getting ready to replace the starter on this 2008 Chevy Impala. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the battery. Okay, I've got the car jacked up and I've got to remove this plastic shield down here, so I'm just taking out these with this tool. There was 4 of those right in front, and then there's also 3 of these 10 millimeters that are right behind it. Let's see here. There's another one. I'll take them out. Now there's this clip right here on the corner, right there. And there's two more of those bolts on the outside here. They look smaller. Okay, I'm in the corner of the bumper, and this one I got out using this tool, and this one. I loosened it with this one, and then I pried it out with this one. So there's one of those on each side. Okay, and there's 2 7 millimeter bolts on each side, on both sides, out by the tire. Okay, then back between the tire and the fender, it's not this one that holds it, but this one back towards the engine, that one. And then if you go up and way back in here, there's another one that holds it. So there's those 2 flat button-like connectors, and those will be on each side too. Those have a little indentation where you can put the tip of a screwdriver and pry those up. Okay, once those clips are out, this thing you can work it down and pull it out. Once we do that, we'll be able to see the starter. Okay, once all those are out, there's 2 more bolts in there. If you go to the front of the bumper here by where the headlight is, kind of underneath, you'll see a very recessed bolt in the middle of the car. There's a clip, and over there on that side there's another recessed bolt, so I've got to get those out. Okay, I was wrong. It wasn't a bolt, it was another one of these things. And the center one was one of these clips that I got out with this tool here. Okay, I finally got that off. And now as we go under here, there's the starter. I'm going to start by removing these connections. Okay, I think that's the oil pressure connector. And that's the electrical connector to the starter. Okay, I got this bolt loose. It's a 13 millimeter. And it's not on there very tight. So, here's the starter I'm using. You can see where the 2 bolts go. I ordered this from Rock Auto. Okay, there's one of the bolts right there. It's hard to see, but towards the right side here, it looks like a plastic bracket held on by 2 or 3 bolts. So I'm going to try to remove that, and that'll help me access that bolt there. I'm just coming in from the front of the car for one of those bolts. Okay, that loosened that plastic, but I think that was on the wrong track. Back here by the oil pan, there's this mount with 3 bolts, and that's what needs to come off. That's what's sitting on top of that plastic piece. Okay, once I got that piece off, then this plastic part came off, and now I can access the bottom bolt. Okay, now I'll try to loosen that bolt there. I'm just coming up from the bottom of the car to access that. Okay, so directly around the starter from the first bolt I took loosened up. Well, you can see it right there. So I'm going to take it loose. Okay, I've loosened both bolts, and you can see the starter is jiggling. So now to get it out of here. I'm gonna take the oil filter off, drain the oil, and that'll give me a little bit more room to get the starter out of here. Okay, I got the oil filter off, and I've been letting it drain. It looks like it's done draining, so I'm gonna take the 2 bolts all the way out now on the old starter and try to get this one up in there. I have put a little bit of silicone grease on this connection, and I'm going to use the original nut that was on the old starter. I was able to jiggle this thing out to the left and down, and I definitely needed to take the oil filter off. So I'll try to get this one back up in there. Double check the parts and make sure they're the same. It seemed to go up in there okay. I held it with my left hand, and then I put this bolt here in first, and then I used my stubby ratchet without an extension to get that bolt in. Then I put the extension on and put the other bolt in. Then I just snugged them up tight. So I'm going to put the electrical connections on. Later I'll torque down the bolts. I'm going to take a little sandpaper to the ends of these connections too. Okay, I'm putting these electrical connections on, and having trouble. The red part of that wire is getting in the way of putting the electrical connector on behind it. So you just got to pull the red wire close away from that as you tighten it. Otherwise you can't get that electrical clip back on. Okay, I used my 13 ratcheting wrench. There, now I should be able to get that connector on. Okay, I got the oil filter back on, and I got the bolts torqued down to 32 foot-pounds. Now I'll put this plastic cover back on. Right there, and I'll put that back on. Okay, I put oil in the car, got everything back together. Let's see if this thing starts. Oh yeah, much nicer, much nicer. Thank you for watching, and happy repairs.